Hi, my name is Patrick Crothers and I'm the District Technology Coordinator for Mahtomedi Public Schools. As part of the Device for Every Learner initiative, students at Wildwood will be using iPads, and students at O.H. Anderson, the middle school, high school, and Passages will be using Chromebooks. Throughout the year, teachers will be working with the students to learn how to use the devices and also how to use the different learning systems we have within the district. We also want to give you an overview of these systems and the devices so that you're able to support your students as well. Let's get started.
Our secondary students use a variety of technology tools for learning, and our teachers spend quite a bit of time working with them to set expectations and to talk about how to take care of the devices. These are a few things you can do at home to make sure that the Chromebook stays safe and secure. First of all, when it's not being used, it's always best to close the Chromebook screen. We do have some instances where screens get cracked, broken. The Chromebook's maybe been dropped or knocked off something. If you keep the lid closed when it's not being used, even if the Chromebook does fall or get dropped, oftentimes the screen won't crack. Chromebooks don't like liquid, they don't like crumbs, so it's best to keep food or drink away from the Chromebook. They really don't like liquids, and we have had some instances even where a device has fallen into a sink because it was sitting on a counter or somewhere else. So please keep food, drink, and liquids away from the devices. Devices typically don't like extreme cold or extreme heat, so please make sure that you're bringing the Chromebook or the device into your home each evening. Don't leave it in a vehicle, in a bag in a vehicle. Even if the vehicle's in your garage, it's best to always bring it inside. As a family, you should also be setting some expectations for the device at home. Talk about which rooms the Chromebook can be used in. Do you want it to be allowed in bedrooms or not? These are good discussions to have up front and make sure everybody understands what the expectations are. You also might have some spaces in your home where it's best for your child to concentrate on their work. You want to look for an outlet to be nearby. The Chromebook may need to be plugged in. The battery won't always last all day, especially if they're in Google Meets throughout the day. There are spots in your home where you may have better internet connections than in others. It would be good to have them working in those spots where there's a good connection. And we do suggest that students work at a table or a desk. Sitting on a couch, sitting on a bed can cause some issues and might not be comfortable for them. You should also talk about when the Chromebook can be used and when it should be put away. This is up to you to decide as a family if the Chromebook can be used throughout the evening, or once school is done, do you want the child to put the device away. And just set a rule so at the end of the day the Chromebook does get put away. We do hear from families filling out our tech support tickets with different issues that they run into. One of the best things you can do with the device if you're having any sort of an issue is do a full shutdown. What our students will oftentimes do is they'll just close the lid when they're done with it at the end of the day. That puts it to sleep, but it doesn't do a full shutdown. And what's nice about a shutdown is that it resets a lot of the settings within the system. So if you are having issues with the Chromebook running slow, you're having a problem with the camera or with audio, maybe you're getting disconnected from Google Meet sessions or you're having internet issues, the first thing you should do is do a full shutdown with the Chromebook. And I would suggest that you do that at least once a day. To do this, when you have the Chromebook open and you're logged in, you click down in the bottom right-hand corner by the clock. That will pop up a menu, and then you'll see the typical power button at the top. You'll click that, wait for the device to close all the way down and to shut down, then you can close the lid. Google's recently come out with some updates to Google Meet, and one of the things that they've recently added is a feature called Tiled View or Tiles. This is similar to the grid view in some of the other systems. Some of our students and their teachers installed an extension called Grid View last year, at the end of last year, or at the beginning of this year. And what that allowed them to do is to see multiple students in a grid view on the screen. If that Grid View extension is still installed, that can cause issues with the tile layout in Google Meet with this new update. So we do recommend that students and staff go in and that they delete the old Grid View extension if it's still installed. To do that, you go up to the top right-hand corner, you click the Customize button, or the three dots right next to the profile picture. You go down to More Tools and select Extensions. Within your extensions, if you do have any of the grid view, and you might have multiple grid views installed, you should click Review or Remove and choose Yes, I do want it to be removed. If there's a lot of extensions installed, I would go through them also and see if there's some that are not being used, and if they're not, I would remove those as well. Because if you do have too many extensions running, that can be one thing that slows down the Chromebook. Just a quick Chromebook tip for you. Sometimes it's nice to take a screenshot of something that's up on the Chromebook. Maybe it's something the teacher is going over that you want to go back and look at later. Maybe it's a resource that you were looking up for a research project that you want to copy. You can take screenshots on a Chromebook. To do that, if you want to take a full screen, you hold down the Control button and you press the window button or the screen button at the top of it's in the top row of the keyboard of the Chromebooks. And what that does is it gives you the entire screen. You can also select just a certain area or a specific area to do a screenshot for. To do that, you hold down Control, Shift, and press that screen button or the window changer button. What it does is it gives you a crosshair. You click and hold and you drag over the area that you want to select. So in this case, I just took a small portion of the dashboard. When you do a screenshot, it saves it to Google Drive. It starts it with the name screenshot, and then it has the date and the time after it that you took the screenshot. Throughout the year, you might need additional support. You might be looking for some tips. We do have a website set up to help you. It's the Device for Every Learner website, and the address is listed here, mahtomedi.k12.mn.us/devices. You can also go out to any of the district pages, and under the quick links, you'll see device support. So here it is on the public school page or the district page. It's on the middle school page as well, and on the high school page. And again, all of these are under quick links. When you click the button and you go out to the website, you're going to see information about the devices. Our device guides are available. We'll have some tips for families that we'll be updating throughout the year. There's also a spot where you can fill out our help desk form if your child is having a problem with the device, or maybe with one of the Google products. And we also have on here a spot where you can reserve a study space. So if your child needs to make sure they have really good internet and you've been having some problems, or maybe more people are going to be working at your home on a particular day, there are spots at the District Ed Center and at the Wildwood Public Library that you can reserve throughout the day to go in, work, and ensure that you have good internet connection. Again, we're going to continue to update the device support page and continue to add technology tips and tricks. We'll also be sending out additional emails to families to give them some suggestions about how to best utilize the device or troubleshoot issues. Thank you.
Here's what Google Classroom looks like on the teacher's side. I have the stream, the classwork, then I also have students, the people that are enrolled in my class, and the grades. So stream is where announcements will be made. Students should check the stream just to make sure that there's any announcements or important information that are posted there. On the side, on the teacher's side, it does say here that what the assignments are that are upcoming. Now just to take a look, see what it looks like, what my classwork page looks like for the teacher. So all of my material here is listed, and it will tell me when something is due on the side. You'll also see that on the student side as well. When I open it, it will tell me as the teacher what has been done, or at least turned in. When I view this assignment, it says that even though it's been turned in, it was turned in late. There's also not a document listed here. The reason that this is important is because the teacher will alert the student to whether or not something needs to be attached. The student did not do that in this case, and so even though it says that the assignment is turned in, there is not an assignment that's actually provided here. So while it might look like the student has completed the work, they have not. But if we continue to look at other elements, the student has, this is in the form of a Google quiz or a Google form, which meant they are alerting me that they have completed this form. I would have to go into the form as the teacher to double check that this is an accurate representation of their completed work. I might also see when a student has not turned something in. It says that it's assigned, but they haven't turned it in. So I can view here, and this is something that my student was provided to turn in, but they have not turned it in. Perhaps they're still working on it. Okay. Here is another example where they have turned something in, and here's just material that the teacher has posted for the student to see. I can, as the teacher, I can take a look at the students and see what have they completed and what have they still left to turn in. This does not alert me or the adult that's at home whether or not the student has actually completed the work, only that the student has clicked the button turned in. But as a teacher, I can take a look and see what have my students completed and what do they still need to complete in order to be caught up in class. What you see here is the student side. I'm the teacher here, and so this is the stream. Remember, this is where all of the announcements for class, but assignments typically are not going to be posted to the stream. You'll notice this calendar on the side here, which alerts students to things that are coming up. This particular student, who is Ms. Vale that's logged in here, will tell the student that there is a quiz that's due, it's due today at 9 a.m. It is already 3 o'clock, so I'm already late, so the student has to make sure that they submit that. It is also alerting the student to due dates that are coming up later that week. Now, if the student wants to see what homework is, they can look on this page. So you can look here, the student can click view your work up on top and see, look at all of the assignments that are either missing or turned in, right? So this is a really nice option for students to be able to see what do they need to get done and what do they still have to work on. On the student side, you will notice that there are different icons. This icon here is for materials. If it's a material, there is no assignment connected. It is simply going to be a place where students can find the resources that they need for later assignments or handouts. Think of this as something that would typically be in a student's folder as they went from class to class. So the student can click View Material, any instructions will be listed here, and then the document is clickable right there. So then this is a material that students need for something in class. The student will also see this icon. When it doesn't have a book that looks like a book, like it has a bookmark, that is an assignment. So here, there is an assignment. The student can read the instructions for the assignment here. It does say that it's assigned, so I know that it's not turned in. This assignment is due by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I can view the assignment. It says that there is something already